Hey, welcome, everybody. Just to let you know, my voice is a little shot right now. I spent several hours with an amazing hangout with Anti-Ordinary today on her channel. It was a great discussion. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out and subscribe to her. I love her channel. I think she has great videos, and we had just an amazing 2-hour dialogue. And it's very similar to the dialogue that I had with Emperor Atheist several weeks ago in the Geek Room. And along those veins of talking about topics like atheism and stuff like that, but showing that it could be discussed in a way that's non-vitriolic and that's not talking over each other in a very polite, civil discourse. And I think that she did a wonderful job on that. So if you haven't seen that, you go check it out. So speaking of Emperor Atheist, I have Emperor Atheist with us right now. We just got done earlier watching his debate with Kent Hovind. I had to leave obviously a little earlier than expected to do that show with Anti-Ordinary, but I did go back and watch a little bit. My quick summation of that particular debate pretty much being summed up as one: I don't know what the topic was, and I didn't know what the hell Kent Hovind was trying to do besides Gish Gallop. He never once addressed any single solitary point that I saw EA bring up. He just hand waved it away, didn't think it was necessary to respond to, and came up with 5,000 other things to talk about that had no relevancy whatsoever. I know firsthand, because I've had him on my channel numerous times, and I've talked to him numerous times, that Kent knows squat about science. And we do know that Emperor Atheist does understand science. He knows physics. What he said about physics in that hangout, as far as my knowledge, was spot on correct. I didn't see any problems whatsoever. I don't think Ken had any understanding of it, and he doesn't need to, because all Ken has to do is say, evolution, bad. And he thinks that he wins the debate.
Well, again, I'm watching his channel, EA. I have you actually in the background when Steve contacted me, and from his channel, first of all, he probably thinks he won, because normally he takes a day or so to put up a debate on his channel. He had you up in an hour. But the one thing that you did, EA, and after all these debates I've seen of him, you called his shit out immediately. And you wouldn't have had a chance to do it in a conclusion, because he's always got somewhere to go. He's always got technical difficulties. It's like,
But that's why you have to narrow it down to one very specific topic. When Ned debated him, it was one.
That's why I should, because he asked for 5 points. That's what I should have did. It just had one specific, because like you say, it was kind of like all over the place. That's why I was telling Chris. That's why I think Chris did a good job too at moderating too.
Well, you can see when you're watching his channel, I could see, and I will post a video on it, just the first 15 minutes when he's doing his presentation. You can see that the minute EA starts talking, his headphones are like not off his head, they're like to the side. He's talking to someone else on the other side. Yeah, he's like, okay. Yeah. He's like, he's just waiting for key points, like, no PhD, tax problems, and that gets his attention. Outside of that, he don't want to science. Screw that. But Steve, he did answer that question, and we had this hangout like a month ago when you asked, how large or how thick was the, as Rose Patton calls it, the firmament. I told you, he said it was like 2 to 3 inches.
I don't. There's so many things wrong with that, and we'll get into that in a moment here. When he jumped out of the gate, and I was fine with that approach. I think that his very first thing that he had brought up at that point should have been the conversation for a while. His academic qualifications that he always talks about.
Now, by the way, on his channel, before I forget, I'm looking right at it on my screen. It says Dr. Kent Hovind debates Emperor Atheist about the flood. Yeah, 210-17.
Well, here's the thing, though. I have specifically asked Kent on air during it was Ned Negation of Peace debate with him. Does he have any academic qualifications?
Right.
He said, I've never taught public school. He has only taught, in Baptist churches, and he's taught creation science. So when he says he's taught high school for 15 years, that's a completely fabricated thing.
Yes,
and that's where I think it should have gone. What do you think about that, Bruce? Maybe we'd like to talk about that more.
No, I tried to go that route, but I guess I told the moderator I didn't want to seem like I was too ad hominem. But
I get that. It's not ad hominem because he's made that claim, and we've all talked about evolution before, right? We have bad, okay, but evolution. But it's very hard to narrow him down on that because I just recently had a person on my own channel come to my channel saying, "Oh, Kent's a real." I had actually more than one say Kent's a real PhD. He's a real doctor.
Oh, he's not.
He's not.
No, he's got. He claims he's got. All right, we already know about
Patriot Bible School,
Patriot University, which was a trailer house. It's a diploma mill, but he's got two. He asserts he's got 2 honorary PhDs, but he won't tell you who those schools are. So,
and even if that's true, that's not an accredited PhD. You don't earn the title of doctor unless you have an MD, in which case you are really a doctor, or a doctor of philosophy, which is a PhD.
I wish he.
And even then, they don't like call them doctors often. They usually call them professors, but whatever.
I wish he knew what it felt like for someone that really put in the work. I've seen his dissertation. It's like, "Hi, my name is Kent Hovind," filled with spelling errors and all this other crap. I have it somewhere, and I've read it, and it's like, this is like an 8th grade, what I did on my summer vacation paper. It's
right.
It's total horseshit.
But Emperor, would you have liked to gone down that line of questioning more? Wouldn't it have been ad hominem? Because again, this is something that he has maintained. His opening statement was, "Hi, my name is Kent Hovind. I've taught high school science for 15 years. Boom. That's not ad hominem. You're addressing that claim.
Yeah,
that's true. But
hang on, Dave.
He kind of sort of. Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
No, but EA put it out there right off the bat. He's like, "Hey, look." He made it very clear. I know I'm not going to convert this guy. This is for the onlookers, and I'm going to tell you right now. You're full of shit. What you're doing, you're not doing anything good for society, education, nothing. You hit him, and it's like, it was perfect. It was just perfect because all the science, everything else, Kent really did change up his act because he didn't come out with the evolution as a religion and the taxpayers and that. He waited for the second round. Normally, that's his opening act.
Right.
But he didn't do it this time. It's just like it was just like, watching a prize fighter, it was like watching Rocky 2 when he goes from being a southpaw to fighting right-handed. It's just like, but again, you nailed him immediately. And most people don't get a chance to do it. I only saw Bill Ludlow call him to task when Bill was bringing up.
Bill did a great job.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I sent you those slides, EA, in the G Plus board, with the trying to carbon date, seals. The woolly mammoth shit.
We'll definitely get into those things. Which, by the way, we're supposed to have already done tonight. Eric, who's a young creationist from Thinks Easy, was going to join us tonight again, and I was going to go over.
Eric, not Kent Hovind's Eric, right?
No, not Eric.
No. He was from
Eric is a creationist.
Yeah, Shannon did a thing with him. That's right. You were supposed to have a thing with him.
He emailed me, said he couldn't make it tonight. We're going to postpone it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through Kent's 9th edition Creationist Handbook and point out step by step some of the gross errors that are in it and show him that there is no other way to interpret it. That either A, Kent didn't do his due diligence, or he just outright didn't care or lied or whatever. It doesn't matter. Either the claims are wrong. We all know the claims are wrong. That's just the way it is. But how to demonstrate effectively to a young creationist.
And I thought EA was really smart too, staying away from the Bible, because that, and I'm not saying EA, I don't know how much you know or how little you know, doesn't matter. That's Kent's comfort zone.
Well, let's look at EA in here a little bit here. So hold on for Dave. So EA. So I mean, what did you think of all the debate? I mean, what would you have done differently? Did you even think it was a debate? Because I didn't know what the topic was. I still don't know. I guess it was on the flood.
Like I said, it was supposed to be a 2-point topic, and he almost wanted to change it right before we came on, like 5 minutes before. He started talking about the gap theory, And I emailed, I said, no, we're not here to talk about the gap theory or evolution. I said, I'm sure you're going to mention evolution. And I told him, even before we started, I said, that's what you like to debate, but you don't respect when guys actually bring evidence for evolution. So there's no sense in me going down that rabbit hole. So he said, well, okay, well, let's debate something about that. So we was going to debate basically the inerrancy of the Bible, which is actually my comfort zone, Dave. And but he said, well, I don't want to debate that because it might be too broad of a subject. So we said, okay, well, one of the other 5 points I sent him an email about 2 weeks ago was Noah's flood. Did Noah's flood happen? So that's basically what we were supposed to debate. Noah's flood.
I would have never guessed that, to be honest with you.
Yeah. That basically is supposed to be did Noah's flood happen? But it got kind of, all over the place because, and I tried to address most of the things within his belief system of what he felt about Noah's flood. As far as the timeline, and I didn't get to finish my archaeology points.
Yeah, when he started with that, do you see those animals on top? What do you think they mean? And I'm like, well, holy shit!
You know what I realized? I'm not going to.
So irrelevant.
I think I just realized this today. I've dealt with all this stuff with the other creations for a very long time, and Ken, I just actually realized this today. So you're going to probably laugh at this, but what I thought to myself was this: when he's talking about the geological column, and he's technically right when he says that there's no geological column. What he means is there's no geological column in any one given place that has all the layers. Okay,
right.
That's true. Okay, but he twists that.
I agree with that.
Right, and so what he's saying is when you do find lower species at the higher levels, he's literally thinking it as they're higher in location. But he's not looking at the strata that they're in. The mountaintop, like the Himalayas or whatever, the strata up there used to be sea level. That was seabed that was pushed up. And so that layer that's right there was very, very old. So he's just thinking, you're finding these clams at a much higher altitude than the the KT boundary. Well, so what? That layer was already above the KT boundary to begin with, for one thing, but you don't find humans below the KT boundary. That's the point. No, sure, you're going to find bacteria higher.
Well, he didn't hesitate.
And I should have mentioned that. You're right. I should have mentioned that because he had so many things I was trying to address.
Well, no, you did. Wait, no, you did call him out when he keeps on saying, there's dinosaur prints next to human prints, and you just said, hey, wait, that's bullshit. And it's like, what do you call it? He did. He pulled the same crap with what's her name from the National Science Education, Jeannie something.
Jean
Scott.
Yeah, because he tried that frozen kangaroo shit on her. He said that there were kangaroo fossils or marsupial fossils found in Africa, and she goes, "Kent, that's an outright lie."
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, let's just move on beyond that,
Yeah. He never did back it up, right?
No, he didn't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the same thing. We also have somebody that actually has maintained for a year or two now that they have found humans below the KT boundary, and yet they've been asked for evidence for that. Never was provided,
Right.
Oh, and by the way, somebody noted they just call it the K boundary. I'm old school. What do you want me to call it? Cretaceous Tertiary period? I mean, it's just whatever. It's just I call it KT. Call it whatever you want. Well,
definitely. I ain't trying to break the train of thought, Steve. I don't think he would. I don't think Kent would agree on a debate to discuss his degrees. Do you think?
No. What he would do is you could ask him a question, and it's like, Kent, if I asked you too many questions, wouldn't that be in your video number 7? And just watch him go off.
No, I don't think it's something you would agree to a debate on, but it's perfectly legit in a debate when somebody's opening statement involves that. That's why I felt no problem qualifying that when I was moderating him and Ned, because when somebody makes a comment like that, I want to make sure that the people listening, have a correct perception of it. That's why I was able, as a moderator, to step in and say, okay, I just want to explain to the audience, when you say you're a high school teacher, did you teach public high school? And did you teach anything that was accredited? That can go on somebody's transcripts. He was honest about it. He said no.
Yeah, you did that one in 2000. Steve, I have that interview. You did it in 2015. And I remember you said, he said that he was in prison and he hasn't had time to update it. You showed him 2 or 3 points. And then I remember you sent him the papers, you know, and it's like he just forget about it. He just plowed right on through, and he just
no, that was a different, that was a different video. That was with his carbon dating stuff. I'm talking about the debate that Ned had with him. And what's funny is that part that I got him to say he has no accreditation and that he's never taught actual public high school. Nobody did anything with that part. I thought that part would be ripped out and taken by everybody on the planet and ran with it, but nobody did anything with it. It's on Ned Perdome's video with what was it called? What was the name of the topic? Morality and something or other. I don't remember the name of the actual topic of the debate. But litigation of teams video, great. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I was looking for something. I was trying to find something.
Well, I wanted to say. If I find a few, you want to take something with that video and run with it? I'm never going to cut it and do something with it.
Oh, yeah, send it to me. Please.
I saw the last video you made. Weird.
They say send it to me.
Yeah. Do you want? I can send it to both of you, but I mean, I'll timestamp it because I do know where it's at.
Yeah, no. Send it to me. Believe me, I have my own Star Wars coming out. Believe me, I have so many thoughts. I actually had to buy an extra hard drive, an extra terabyte of space just for Hovind slides and debates.
By the way, did this drive you to drink today, EA? Or are you still like not?
Yeah, I wanted to smoke something real good, heavy. I know that.
Okay.
This guy, man. I mean,
it's rough. It's rough, dude.
But but Steve, I mean, everybody been. I mean, you know, y'all been telling me that. I mean, come on, we know that. But like I said, I didn't do this actually to try to. I actually want to do this for other people who may be in limbo, man, because that's right. Maybe on my channel, between old Earth creationists, young Earth creationists, and some of these steers that I actually talk to, subscribe to me. Some of them are open for learning. You know what I mean? And then one guy mentioned to me about a month ago about Kent Hovind. He said, he asked me, what did I think about Kent Hovind's teaching? He said, why don't you debate Kent Hovind? And but that guy now is an agnostic though. Little Gary, shout out to Gary. He was inside of the debate today. But so I do it for people who are asking, who are paying attention to us. People like people paying attention to your channel, Steve. People paying attention to mine. I know everybody don't debate all the time, but. So, you know, that's why I do it. You know what I mean? I know he's a scam artist. I know a lot of people say nothing fruitful can come from the debate. But I think it does. I mean, people like Bill Ludlow and King Crocoduck and Dr. Genius Scott and all these people who actually, like Aaron. That's what I disagree with Aaron Raw about. Aaron says that, no, you're wasting your time. He told you wasting your time debating this guy, giving him some type of stage. And I disagree with that. I think we should keep giving these clown stages because we have to push back these bad ideas. So I think
you have a good point on that. And Aaron, by the way, Aaron has agreed, and off the record here, so you know this is a secret, guys. But I have talked to Aaron, you know, quite a bit recently. In fact, we had a 4-long Twitter battle not too long ago. But, he has, I think, agreed to have a conversation with Kent, but he doesn't want a debate. He wants a discussion, not a debate. Okay. He said he's not going to debate him, but a discussion, because I ran the same argument to him that you just gave, right? And I understand Aaron not wanting to give legitimacy to someone like Kent. I totally understand that, and debating him can give that feel. But I also think that if you let Kent alone, he's not going to go away because he's been around for several years and he's slowly building up his little empire. Matter of fact, if you may not have caught this, Emperor, but did you not hear at the very start of that debate, he said, "Come on down, we'll put you to work."
Yeah, I heard that. Okay.
That's his.
He's got a shopping. He's got a shopping list. He wants a 4-wheeler. I believe me, I watch his channel every day.
I had muted myself. I actually laughed. I was muted though. Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I was like, holy crap. But yeah, he does have people go down there and do free labor for him.
Wow, man. And they're doing this all in the name of the young Earth creationist God.
In the name of Jesus. And I want people, to know
they think they're gonna get a blessing for helping him. Oh wow.
Yes. And but I want to make everybody be clear on this. Kent Hovind and his secretary have watched my channel. They know I am no fan. Yeah, Rhonda. Really, she's a sweetheart, dude. Never,
yes, she is, man. I talked to her.
Never be mean to her. Rhonda is very, very nice.
Yes,
she is. I have had many emails with her over the last year or so. We just talk about we talk about her mom. We talk about all kinds of stuff. I mean, she's a very sweet lady.
Yeah, she is nice. She's real nice.
And so they know, though, I'm not a big fan of Kent, and I don't hide my feelings at all, only except when I'm moderating. Then I have to restrain. But she has told me straight out that because I have such vitriolic opinion of Kent, she is amazed that I do such a good job at moderating, and Kent's very happy with that. So when his little, sycophants come over and say, oh, the moderation was biased, blah, blah, blah. Well, if that's the case, Kent has never said that, and his secretary says, oh, it's Jim Dandy. So, I think it's odd that they think that there's biased moderation when Kent is just fine with it, because this works in Kent's favor as well too. It's a double-edged sword.
It does exactly. So, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, he did a debate at Rutgers, November 2017, so just a few months ago, and the professor he was going against, I mean, the professor literally put his jacket on like halfway through the debate and said, "You are just so full of shit. I can't take this." And Kent's just like plowing right through. But EA did the two things that were perfect. He called them out immediately, and EA realized that his target audience was the onlookers. And that's all you need. That's all you need with him.
He wants an audience, right? And the only thing he has to do to win a debate is basically dismiss the other person.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He thinks he wins. By the way, Irvine snuck in. Didn't mean to ignore her. Hi, Irvine.
Yeah, she's been in for a minute, man. You haven't said anything to her.
Well, we get wrapped up in stuff, so okay. But Irvine's always welcome to our little humble abode here. So,
were you gonna end it soon?
No. We just got started, girl. What the hell are you talking about?
Okay.
Yeah, relax. So, but I kind of do want to get a little bit of some of the scientific claims he made, if you don't mind. I don't remember how you kind of answered them, so I don't know what you did. But I know
scientific claims.
Okay, pseudoscientific claims. Fair enough.
He made a few.
One of the things that bugs me in his presentation, because he's been corrected on this numerous times. Do you remember he's talking about polystrate trees?
Yeah, yeah. There's no such thing as that, right?
Well, there's some huge misconceptions there. And if a young Earth creationist ever asks you, they can go look up Ian Juby, who is a young Earth creationist, and even he acknowledges this. So this is not like it's evolutionists are saying.
Isn't this like Mount St. Helens shit?
No, but
yeah, okay.
But first of all, they're not trees. Okay, they're a type of plant that are called club moss. Okay. They're lycopods, and a lycopod is not a tree. They are not polystrate as far as going through strata either. Those mud layers are not strata layers, not rock layers of like millions of years. They're from the constant flooding of bogs and swamps, and as over a period of time it lays down these new mud layers, annual mud layers, and those trees get encapsulated in it. But they're not going through solid rock, right?
No, I always thought it was like a volcanic ash type of thing.
Yeah, there's other ways of doing it too. Yes, there's pyroclastic flow that can cause polystrate trees as well. When Steve Austin tries to make it sound like these layers from Mount St. Helens are actually like, oh, look at these instastrata being created. No, I think there's like 2 layers of sedimentary layer or pyroclastic flow, but there's not, like granite upon limestone and biotite, whatever. It doesn't work like that.
Oh yeah, that's what was cool too. Right. When he's talking about the Grand Canyon, I've never seen him pull out. Well, they know there's a Grand Canyon on Mercury or wherever the hell, and scientists have realized that it only took a week there, and they can't figure out that the Grand Canyon wasn't made in a week too. What's the matter with these people?
Yeah, they think that every scientist in the world can't understand things like uplift. or plate tectonics, but that was one thing that he's been corrected on numerous times. Now, I didn't see much about the carbon dating stuff. I noticed he did say something about. He
didn't go there. He didn't go there.
Didn't somebody say something about the seal?
That was me.
Did Kent or did you? Somebody did.
No, I was in the live chat.
Oh, okay.
Where's the carbon dated seal?
Okay.
Matter of fact, with AE during the week on the Google board, I'm sending him these slides, and he's preparing. It's like hey, you got to call him out on this. You got to call him on that because Steve, you did it with him in 2015. That was one of the points you brought up. It's like, hey, you can't carbon date aquatic animals, stupid.
Well, actually, I brought up more of the claim that there's a man.
Steve, did you get him to change? Did you make him agree to change something in one of his unscientific journals or something?
What I got him to agree, basically, that there is. I
forgot to bring that up too.
Yeah, there's a claim out there about a mammoth being carbon dated at 2 different times, and if you actually look at the original source, which I have, it's actually 2 different mammoths found 8 years apart. And
and one was in silicone.
It wasn't his original claim. He got it from somebody else, which is basically passing the buck, saying, well, if it was that case, I didn't know, and I want my things to be correct, and send me all this, and I'll fix it. I sent him this. I did follow you a follow-up email. You think he fixed it?
No, he's plowing right through with it.
Yeah. I'm looking at the live.
No, he didn't. Bill Ludlow was nailed him good. On
why are they timing out thick shades? Thick shades doesn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, he talks a lot of crazy shit.
Well, that's enjoyable.
Yeah, it is enjoyable. He's a good troll, I think.
Yeah, I got no problem with Thicky.
Me either. What you call him?
Thicky. Oh, Thicky. I think he hates that, but I call him Thicky. Yeah, so come on, guys. Don't be doing that.
Steve.
Thicky's harmless.
I gotta tell you something when you're good.
Go for it. Knock yourself out.
Okay, so you're gonna laugh. There's this new challenge that's going about. I don't know if you've seen it on Facebook yet.
Tide Pod Challenge?
The Hot Coil Challenge.
No, I don't. Not sure how this relates to this, but go ahead. The hot coil?
It is, and it's stupid. There's this YouTube video. If you look on YouTube, you type in Hot Coil Challenge. There's this teenager that turns on the burner, the burner you have on the stove, and he puts his arm on it.
Oh, I've seen this. Oh.
I don't understand the purpose of that.
Oh, it's the hot.
You think that's like nothing compared to like the Tide Pod Challenge, right? And that's still going on, by the way. But there's this new challenge called the Hot Coil Challenge.
Coil.
Have you tried it?
Yeah, you're funny. I'm good.
I once made a meme of it had a picture of a hydrochloric acid on top with the skull and the hydrochloric acid on the bottom. It had a picture of Nancy Pelosi with this weird face. And like I said, Nancy Pelosi decided to take the acid challenge. Didn't fly too well, but I thought it was funny.
Yeah. Well, I can say that the only guy that has ever beat Kent in a debate or a discussion is Mr. ID. I mean, this was point counterpoint for idiots. It was just it was perfect.
That one guy, Nathan, didn't do very well.
That's my favorite. It's one of my favorites.
Somebody had commented too. I'll stick to my Tide Pod Challenge, thanks.
Yeah,
what is that? What is that, by the way? I see that all over the place. I don't even know what that is.
Tide Pod Challenge?
Yeah.
Is where some teenage idiot will take those Tide Pods, whether it be the solid or the liquids.
What's a Tide Pod?
For detergent.
Oh, yeah. Tide Pod.
Yes.
Tide Pods.
Oh.
Where they would stick them in their mouth, bite down, and let yeah.
You got to be a real tard on that one.
Yeah, why not Cascade?
No, man.
Oh. Wow.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse.
That's terrible.
No, I've seen, well, no, the one that's going around now, it's pretty cool. This guy goes around in really bad neighborhoods, and it's called gun detector. And what he does, he goes up to a car full of people, and he pulls a gun, and he wants to see how many people in the car have a gun. And it's like, it's a game. And it's like, somebody here is going to get killed.
Yeah, that's when they win the Darwin Award.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. That'll be. I have no compunction for some of these people anymore to do that kind of stupid shit, because that could harm other people. But anyways, let's gotta get back to the whole debate thing.
Well, first of all, Kent didn't have an Hawaiian shirt on, and I'm trying to still figure out, because, you know, I got an 80-inch monitor here, and he had that blue T-shirt on underneath, and under his pen pocket, you know, his chest pocket, like blue was coming out. I didn't know if he had a hole in his shirt or whatever. I'm sorry, but no, go ahead. Okay. It was just like, you know, he changed up his act, you know, a little bit, and he didn't get as ruffled as much, except for round 2 after AE just called him out. You know, it's a scam and this and that. He's like, well, you know, dishonest, you know, you're calling me dishonest. And it's like, you know, boom. That's when I, you know, if I was the moderator, I would have let a free back and forth, because EA would have just said, okay, let's talk about your PhDs.
And that's what I wanted to basically do. But Chris went another route with that.
Yeah, you did fine. You did. I thought, you know, again, I sent you a personal text. I was very proud of you. You know, you knocked it out of the park.
Well, hopefully I get him again, though. Hopefully I get him again. Yeah, what's GPH say EA? What other man called me AE?
Yeah,
I'm looking in the chat.
You know, you go by whatever we want to call you, man.
Yeah, no big deal. Who cares, man?
As long as my dad used to say, as long as you don't call me late for dinner, right?
What's the name? Asked you something, Steve. Rayward asked you. Let me go back to it. He asked you something about explaining the ice canopy thing. I guess that's one of the things that he talked about.
I just know that.
Oh, the firmament. Oh.
Well, okay. We talked about something called the Misner effect, right? And the way I understand that to be, it's when you have a situation where you're going down toward absolute zero, the point just before or near when it becomes a superconductor, the lines of flux in the object leave the object and go to the external flux. So you usually have lines propagating through an object, and you have lines propagating around an object. And so with the Misner effect, as you reach superconductivity, the lines of flux no longer are able to pass through the medium, and it'll actually boost the external field. That's the way I understand it.
Right.
Okay, so I don't know how that kind of helps his position at all. And again, it only deals with something towards absolute zero.
Yeah, okay? Exactly.
Unless is he saying that the ice canopy was not actual ice? Because that'd probably be a special kind of ice. Like, what is it, ice? He said ice 7.
I don't. That's dealing with his theory, which is what he called a theory, which is not a theory at all. This is just a terrible.
And did it break when the oceans were spitting water, you know, out onto the moon, making craters?
Well, the point was okay, if that was the case, there's something called enthalpy, and enthalpy is the amount of internal energy of a system combined with the product of the pressure times the volume. So it's basically an amount of energy in the system, usable energy in the system.
Right.
Yeah, you're a physics guy, so I mean, this is like second nature to you, but
potential energy, right?
Yeah, well, kinetic. Yeah, well, it's kinetic energy in form, because it's
kinetic energy, right?
Yeah, it's actually a combination of both. You got to remember, like Bernoulli's equation is a combination of kinetic energy, potential energy.
Exactly, you're right.
Another, but when it comes to the enthalpy, that's how much energy is stored in that system. And so, if you have a system where you have ice being changed into a vapor, in this case steam, there's something called latent heat of vaporization, which is the amount of energy that needs to go into that system to cause that phase change. And once you have that steam, you're going to have supercritical steam. You're going to have so hot, it's going to be literally enough to melt the crust of the earth. I mean, I think you kind of math a little bit. It's
just EA said that the whole place would boil.
I did mention that. He just I said it about 2 or 3 times. He just kind of throwed it off, waved it off. He never.
Yeah, EA was pretty much telling him, "Hey, look, the Earth was pretty much inside a thing of Jiffy Pop."
Right. Because he was mixing up theories. He mixed up his so-called theories. He was mixing up Walter Brown's hydroplate theory, and he also throws in the garbage of his Hovind's theory about this big ice.
Yeah, I thought that too.
About this big ice asteroid that he believes came and hit the Earth, and this is how the water. See, now he's changed his tune, and I had to catch him on this contradiction, because the day he was basically saying that most of the water came from the inside of the Earth, which is still this water is going to be boiling. It's still going to die if something like that was to happen. It's still going to be vaporization. But he tried to stick with the hydroplate theory today instead of his own false hypothesis, which was, if you ever look at any of his videos, what he's been talking about for years, his Hovind's theory is about this big ice asteroid that crashed into the Earth, made rings around Saturn while it was exploding, and it hit the Earth, and it froze mammals standing up, and all this pseudoscience. And this is his hypothesis.
I was cracking up when he said he was studying this crater. I can just picture him just like standing over the crater, just looking down.
He thought Winslow, Arizona literally was. I mean, we know what it was made of. There's remnants there, but I've also, I don't remember if he said it, but there's other younger creationists that used to say, because we know there's water underground, like 400 miles deep, it's actually in rock form. It's called ringwoodite. But they actually think that that's where the water came from. Like, well, my question is this: one, it's actually at super high pressure in these rocks. And how much would that be released if that was actually liquid form? And two, how to get back down there?
Yeah. Steve, does he really believe this? I mean, my mind can't grasp someone believing.
I say he's a scam artist.
He's a scam artist.
I just can't believe somebody would. Because, like I said, man, I think basically, I mean, and like y'all going off into, the depth part of his problem, of his hypothesis, but. Just to believe in a 6,000-year Earth and a 4,400-year global flood, with all of the problems that goes against it, man. Like I told him, you have to deny almost every branch of science. I mean, how can you do
and he's saying, I like what you did, Emperor, when you called him out. You had that scientist, that the guy that he was claiming was a scientist, and you said, "Hey, wait a minute, the guy's an engineer. He doesn't have any degrees in biology." I mean, you nailed him. Boom.
Right.
I didn't see that one coming, but it was like it was like someone was like googling shit real fast, and it's like, wait a minute, that guy isn't qualified, to be making any comments.
Oh, he's not, man.
Well, at least he wasn't a dentist.
Right.
Yeah, we had one of those on at one time. Yeah. It wasn't on our channel. It was actually on the Google Council of Google. That dentist that came in that wrote the book on Origin of Kinds, and that Jade and I had basically said, "Oh, we would love to have a conversation with you," and General Han Solo as well. And we've been bugging him on Facebook since then. I think he finally blocked General Han Solo. People were telling us, "Oh, you'll defend his work." Okay, really? And I would ask him, "Okay, you want to come in and tell us, about the origin of kinds and why you think potassium, the element symbol, is P rather than K?" Because I find that to be interesting. And some other things he had in his book, and he just wouldn't do it. And we're like, "Wait a minute, your Calvinist friends told us that you'd be happy to defend your claims."
Some of these people hear this.
But
would he do it? No. The book was horrible. The book was ridiculous.
Yeah, but Steve, do you think? I mean, I cannot wrap my head around somebody that actually. Well, I know with the Calvinists, yeah, I can get that. Someone like Eric, I can get that. Hey, maybe he does believe, and no matter how much he says he's opening to listening, hey, you got to give it a shot. I think he's too far gone. But I mean, with Kent, is it possible You know, is it possible?
When you're dealing with somebody who's that much of a con man, you never know what the hell they believe. You don't know. You can't know. They're not honest enough to tell you what they're honestly thinking, what their honest beliefs are. That's why when I have conversations about people and I talk about what their beliefs are, I don't want to have a conversation with a Poe.
Right. This dude is a serious con man.
Serious.
Some people say he's mentally off. I don't believe it, man.
No, I think
no.
I don't think he's sharp at all.
Attack.
I believe he's very conscious.
Con man like that. Yeah. Now, is he scientific illiterate? No. I think he's not faking that. I think he just doesn't understand any of this stuff.
But you know what? I think it's a good idea. I mean, I don't know when like you said, it was a secret with Aaron, but I would like to hear that. But I actually want to. I want to engage him again, but I want to. As far as the science, I want to actually go at Noah's Flood again, because by the time I know my computer be fixed and all my PowerPoints will be up. But I actually want to probably delve with that again. I don't know, but I want to stick to one particular time, like you said. I won't give him room to skip all over the place or say different things.
Yeah, don't let him gish gallop, because that's what he does with all these debates.
Well, I mean, he's very good at gish galloping. That's what he do.
And the one thing that I would really want to ask him about the Ark, how's he going to account for all the toxic gases from all the animals in there? How do you breathe?
Oh, there's a billion different things that could.
Well, it is. There's so many questions.
I would run out of hours. We only have 8 hours for a hangout.
Well, it's like the Ark encounter. They're showing Noah and his sons. They have they're growing plants. Really, where's the sunlight coming from? On the Ark, and that's the one cool thing that Kent has right now at DAL. He's got somebody that made an Ark out of gopher wood. And I mean, this guy that made it is really talented. And I called it a fraud right off the bat because I didn't see a single gift shop on the damn thing. But he did a beautiful job on it.
What the hell is gopher wood? They never even said what gopher wood actually is.
Gopher wood is what the Ark was allegedly made out of.
But that doesn't tell me what it is.
Well, no. Well, this guy found a big piece of gopher wood on Mount Ararat and carved an Ark out of it. And Kent has it on display at DAL. There's a video on it.
But what kind of wood is gopher wood? I don't use. What tree gave us gopher wood? Gopher tree?
I don't know. It's related to the beaver woods.
The beaver woods, okay, and the platypus vines and the the badger bark.
That's a lot. Yeah. That's a lot. That's so many things about Noah's Flood. I really find Noah's Flood interesting though, because there's so many different angles to actually go at with it, man. I mean, I find it very amusing. I mean, not just scientific, but archaeology. All of the flood myths that I didn't even get a chance to really get into, as far as ancient myths before that predates the biblical myths. But I mean, it's just so many questions. I didn't ask him about evidence for ice core series. I mean, ice cores in Greenland. It's a lot of different questions. I didn't get a chance.
All he does is hand wave that stuff away. EA. That's this. Matter of fact, what you did ask him again. I remember exactly what you were talking about, but he just jumped into, look at the clams found on Mount Everest.
Right. Oh, that was it. Yeah. The clams. Well, you know
how much energy in the firmament thing, with the ice canopy.
Oh man,
what the hell did clams have to
find out? I didn't find out until 3 years ago. I mean, hey, I was brought up a strict Catholic. I went through friggin' seminary, and I couldn't understand when people were saying Catholics really aren't Christians, and it was because we were never taught. We were always taught. Noah's Ark was an allegorical story. We were never taught that.
Right.
This shit is real. It really happened. That's what he blows. He blows my mind. He's a ratings. He's a ratings grabber. But the Ark itself. It's like to have. Actually, as a Catholic, we were taught that. It rained for 40 days, 40 nights, and then Noah sent out, what was it, like 2 doves to go look for land, and when the doves didn't come back, that's when they knew the doves found land. That was
no, the dove came back with an olive branch.
Hey, did y'all see Tyler Durden? Tyler said that gophers plus sawdust equals gopher wood.
Well, the way I grew up is I went to Sunday school and they taught me the same story that Dave told me. Yeah. Didn't believe it, but it's just the story I heard.
Yeah, we were never taught. We were taught. Okay, we were taught that Adam and Eve were, real.
I believe
we didn't get into talking snakes, and Noah's Ark was just like, it was like kind of a thing where God can get so pissed that he can just wipe out the whole world. But we didn't go into the dimensions of the boat.
No detail of that, right? There was never any detail on that.
No, they didn't. They didn't bring out the schematics.
Guys, I just reinstalled my Windows, so I want to make sure my mic's working.
It is, but it's really breathy. You can't speak directly.
All right, let me lower it then, because I was bringing it up because I couldn't hear myself. So let me try bringing it down. Is that any better?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. No, I said my breath was maybe too loud, so I brought down the value of it, the boosting. Hope that's better. All right.
Well, that's another Hovind trick. Someone's breathing heavy into the microphone.
No, don't go there.
Still is, actually. But it's like he does love that joke. Oh, if we just let it sit, it'll evolve. Okay, whatever. But okay, Neil Con, you're driving me nuts here. God, it's so breathy. But EA, let me ask you. The whole narrative for the Noah's Ark needs to explain biodiversification. Would you agree?
Say that again. Ask that again, Steve.
The whole narrative of Noah's Ark would need to explain what we observe from modern day biodiversification, right?
Yes, I agree. I mentioned that too.
Yes.
I told him that that's probably the part you missed. I told him that he would basically have to accept macroevolution to explain all of these different species we have there.
That's and we're not talking just like your average macroevolution. We're talking like on steroids.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I should have said that super macroevolution.
And why doesn't someone say there's no frigging difference when you're talking evolution? There's no difference between micro and macro.
Well,
why are we giving them that?
There is a difference.
Steve, is this any better?
You can't avoid that. There is a difference between micro and macro.
I get it, but it's just like,
Steve, is this any better?
Yeah, Neil. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds better.
The way I hear it, the way I always see it, whenever they mention micro evolution, I would say, yeah, micro intelligence.
Yeah, but I totally agree with that. I mean, but no, I've looked on AIG.
I'm breathing into your mic. I'm telling you.
Go ahead, Steve.
He's just breathing right into his mic, and it's just this loud.
Okay.
And I can't believe that Kent still has the balls to bring up the friggin' Loch Ness monster.
Oh man, I didn't have enough time.
That must have been after I left,
yeah, you did, Steve. You left just before.
What?
Yeah, he brought up the Loch Ness monster and dragons.
What? Oh, is it dragon?
Oh, he said he brought up the Loch Ness monster and dragons.
No, well, that was after he brought up the 1989 issue of Skin Diver magazine.
Right.
I'll tell you this: you've got to have some kind of creative mind like Kent Hovind in order to find this much bullshit to twist to fit this idea that the Earth is 7,000 years old.
Steve, why do you think my video is taking so long? Because I'm good at twisting things, but how do you twist something that's that fucking twisted?
Well, we also know where the Loch Ness monster story came from. I mean, it's actually been
from Eric.
I think he's been told too many stories, children's stories. I think he's kind of stuck to it. So,
what, Eric?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think Eric was raised like this, but I don't know. I think he probably believes even less than Kent. I don't think for a second he buys any of this bullshit. He's still a con man, but he's not as smooth as Kent.
Yeah, I get that from Eric. I don't think Eric believes bullshit. He's just following his daddy footsteps and getting his money. That's what I think.
Now we're going to get Eric back again. We've had him a few times. We'll get him again. He will have his conversation with Apologia one of these days.
I heard him once in a video that really pissed me off. It showed him talking to children.
Oh yeah,
and
that's what he does. He's got a 6-part series all talking to children.
And he says, if you listen to the scientists, or you listen to God, you need to listen to God first. It's like, what the
Yeah, that's just so wrong on so many levels.
That's so bad that pisses me off, and rarely do I get pissed off. But that
well, I had seen a meme the other day that I posted on my Facebook, and it was this story of a school board or school in Illinois that was teaching creationism to kids, such that they said dinosaurs were herbivores, and they lived 7,000 years ago, blah blah blah, and somebody had put on the top, this is child abuse, and I want to get your guys' opinion on it, because I made the argument, and you guys are free to agree or disagree.
It is child abuse.
Let me finish child abuse at the intellectual argument.
Sorry,
I just had to say it.
I don't like the word child abuse in this particular case, because it is neglect. I call it educational or intellectual neglect.
It's retarding education. That's the way I put it.
There's a difference,
but it's not neglecting it; it's twisting it. It's not neglecting it; it's twisting it.
But it is neglect. You have to provide for a certain standard of care for children, and if you do not provide for them the proper educational foundations, it is neglect to me. But it's not abuse.
Right, that part I would say is neglect.
That physical or mental does harm.
Right, but when he twists it, that's when it's abuse. Meaning, if you just say, "I'm going to not teach you anything," or something like that, that's fine. But once you bring lies in there, that's abuse. At least that's my perspective.
Okay, well, hang on. Somebody just in the live chat made a very good point. I had not thought about this particular thing. It's not really to my argument, but they said it's abuse if they are fearing hell over it. That's a different argument.
The Beans Price said that. Yeah.
But it is abuse.
Right, that's a different argument. That's a fair point to make. Yes.
A fair point to make. It's abuse to a teacher when they want to teach creationism in school. Okay. Now you're asking that teacher not only to know, like, let's just say science, but now what if little Johnny comes home and he's got a copy of the Quran? You're asking the teacher to not only know science, but they have to be a theologian.
Well, they
have to know all these disciplines.
About the term abuse, I think it's misapplied here. By the way, Macabre, what's up, buddy?
Hey, dude.
Hey, dude, man, long time no see. What do you say? Are you drunk as what? What?
I'm probably still drunk from last night, but right now I'm just feeling all the bad effects.
Well, when you have a really good buzz and it lasts a few days, it just saves you, from having to buy more alcohol. Right? Did you watch the debate?
No, I didn't. But after hearing this this discussion on child abuse, it piqued my ears, so I thought I'd jump in.
So what's your take? I still call the. Go ahead. Sorry.
What's your take? I think the argument is more for child neglect than it is for child abuse. I think it's a little bit more.
No, I'm sorry. What Kent does is child abuse because, again, correct. I watch his shows every day, and he's got that little girl and that little boy playing the guitar about the blood of Jesus and all this. It's like, that is just so friggin' morbid.
I'm only talking about the Illinois school thing right now. What Kent does in his compound, that's okay. That's a different argument. That could be considered abuse too. But I'm talking about the whole Illinois school that was teaching that dinosaurs are herbivores. I don't elevate that to the level of abuse. I do elevate that to the level of educational neglect.
Okay, I see your point of view, but I still see it as neglect because it damages.
Well, I just said it's neglect.
Thinking. Yeah, but I still see it as abuse because it does damage the person's thinking pattern, really.
But abuse, by the way, if you correct me if I'm wrong on this, but abuse, the way I read it, is physical or mental harm.
It is mental.
You can't say teaching somebody misinformation is harm to mental. I mean, yes, it diminishes their ability to later on.
Yes,
it can be depending on the person. Yeah,
I will tell you flat out, it is. As a martial arts instructor, when people came to our dojo, okay, they came to ours because we were better than some other schools. Those kids have to unlearn the shit that they were already taught. It's like someone that has a learning disability or a stutter where they're behind in comprehensive skills according to everyone else their age. It is mental harm. You're harming them.
But here's the thing. There's a very fine... The child neglect and child abuse are two different things. One is not a subset of the other. Child abuse is not a form of child neglect. Very different things. And to say that you're elevating I'm teaching them that dinosaurs are herbivores to something that we call child abuse. And I don't think that we should.
No, that doesn't rise to the level. That's just stupid.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't like the term child abuse in this case. I think child neglect is more appropriate I don't think you can go to any court and say, hey, look, they were taught this. Let's have them arrested for child abuse. I don't think that would ever fly.
Hey, Steve, do you have any really, really young kids in the GDC that could debate Kent? It would be fun to see a 12-year-old beat them up.
Well, we'd have to find a 5-year-old because, 5-year-old.
I get to the right level there. Yeah,
that was one of the funniest ones.
Right. Let me ask you a question, Steve.
Yeah, let me say hi to Kenny real quick. Kenny!
Yeah, what's up, Ken?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
What's going on, man?
Hey, Emperor, you did a great job, man. I was impressed. You know your stuff, man.
Yeah, I didn't get all my points across, though, but we're going to do it again, though, so it's okay. I'm going to give him the stage again.
Can I just make one recommendation, and then whatever you had to tell me. Don't do this whole let's do a presentation. Just, boom, narrative. Here, let me talk to you. You talk to me, one-on-one, back and forth. One claim. Spend an hour on that one freaking thing if you have to.
That's what we'll do. Yeah.
Don't let him spend.
Hey, this sounds like some pit bulls going on.
Somebody's not happy. Yeah. There's just nothing to it.
I didn't see Rose join the chat.
What's that? What's that?
I didn't see Rose join the chat.
Rose?
Yeah, I'm here. If the dogs start going off again, I'll have to mute.
No worries. Okay. Yeah, but I think Steve, for 15 minutes doesn't do anything.
Steve, I wanted to ask you this, Steve, and then probably we get off the subject. I wanted to ask you this as far as the child abuse, child neglect thing. What do you think about fundamentalist Muslim groups who train kids from say 6, 7, 5 years old to basically hate the West, hate America, teach them Islam, this basically this hate fundamentalist type of version of Islam, which I got a great opinion about all of Islam. But what do you think about that? You don't think that's child abuse?
I think that maybe in that case you can make a better argument for child abuse.
Okay,
well, they do that in North Korea also.
Yeah, in North Korea. You're right.
But I mean, the argument is though teaching kids dinosaurs are herbivores. Is that right?
Right. Yeah. I agree with you on that. Yeah.
But your argument is a different argument, and then I think that's a much better case to make an argument for child abuse.
Steve, actually, I'm going to chime in here because
we don't care what you. No,
2 months ago, I ended
I don't get to mess with you that much.
Sorry, Steve, am I talking over you? Are you talking?
No, we just have a little bit of that. Go ahead. My fault. Go ahead.
I actually just ended a relationship with a Muslim woman, and it was essentially because the relationship reached an impasse when the discussion of children came up. And I was adamant that even her rather moderate Sufi branch of Islam would be tantamount to child abuse if foisted onto the more vulnerable mind of a child. So I find it is a particularly revolting set of beliefs, whether removed from the violence or not, because it, unlike Christianity, which even for fundamentalists provoke some sort of extracurricular thought where they try to rationalize biblical passages with modern science and come up with shit like Noah's Ark. Islam is more about certitude. It's not dependent on logic or any form of coherentism. It is just, this is the text and you believe it. If it doesn't mesh with reality, then you have to perform mental gymnastics. The task is upon you to further delude yourself in order to allow this crappy belief system to sit comfortably in your head.
All right, well, let me ask you, Makab. We have a Muslim here. You want their opinion on
it? If she wants to give it.
How'd you know it was her?
Hi.
Just the look at her face like, I'm going to get in here. I'm going to talk, damn it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. That was that look in her face, that wry smile.
I know. Yeah, you never want a girl to look at you like that. It means something seriously going to go wrong here real quick.
You know what? I don't know. As far as child abuse in the Muslim society, it's more like discipline. It's not about beating your kids. Muslims are not about that. Okay? I have a friend who her children, they don't do nothing. They don't listen. And she gets frustrated. Okay, there's a lot of frustration with raising a child, with raising children that, you know, don't do what they are asked to, want to go on and do their own thing. Now, as a Muslim, I would like to get your guys's, so to speak, knowledge of what you think.
I don't know much about the Muslim. I can tell you that I've seen videos of children literally being abused by being slapped, punched, in the name of the Muslim thing. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't happen in Christianity. There's some bad shit that occurs too. I am not singling them out at all, but I believe that any religion that gets that level, you're done. That's without question child abuse. I mean, there's not even a room for an argument on that. It's straight up child abuse.
There's a perfect example where somebody shot a child in the head, a girl, because she wanted to learn something. They called Allah and said, shot him. I call that.
Or they date a non-Muslim boy.
That's not being Muslim.
I know they're not Muslim. I know that's extreme.
But Arabian, hang on, Arabian. The problem with that they're not real Muslims is then you get into the whole they're not real Christian things either. Well, there's always extreme fundamentalists, but I hate to tell you, they're still Christians, but they're just radicalized versions of it.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm not trying to lump everybody in one category. I'm not saying that all Muslims are radicalized. I don't believe that. I've had Muslim friends and they were very dear people. But I don't think they actually really looked at some of the more radical aspects of the faith.
As a non-Muslim Arab, I have to say that I'm sorry, what was your name? Arabine?
Yes.
I probably have a lot of hostility and contempt towards Muslims that's more a product of my upbringing because one, again, non-Muslim Arab ancestors living under the thumb of Islam, and two, being immigrants coming to a country where our culture was slandered because of the crimes Muslim migrants would commit. So, for example, Channel 9 News would consistently report Lebanese rape gangs as opposed to Muslim rape gangs. And I'm not saying that that's something you would condone or agree with, Ravin, but yeah, so if this conversation continues, please forgive me if I get a bit snarky, but it's more just the context of my upbringing that.
Wait, you be snarky? Color me shocked. You guys don't know who he is. You know, we go way back here, so you know, we get a lot of people that pop in that haven't been around in a very long time, but I don't forget.
I see some new faces.
Yeah, well, you know, we have big.
I'm always lurking in the shadows,
right? Go Great Debate community, one big happy love joy.
What is the sister name? Arabine?
Aravine.
Oh, okay. How long have you been Muslim?
I've been a Muslim for about 2 years now. I'm not strong about the religion myself.
Well, this week you're Muslim. Next week you're Wiccan. Right?
I heard that before. Yeah.
You think I'm kidding? I'm not.
Do you have a particular? Are you a part? Are you just Sunni Orthodox, Shiite? What you have a particular school of thought you're part of?
No, I just I'm still in the practice of learning, and I'm not really much of practicing it at this very moment. I'm kind of steering away from it.
Yeah, I understand the comment.
Get away from it.
I'm not a big fan of Muslim beliefs either. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to try.
I'm not a fan of anyone bringing the God particle into any child.
Well, it's not so much that, but and again, I know it's going to show bias, and that's fair criticism. But from everything I've ever seen about the Muslim faith, I don't see it as a peaceful religion.
Well, Steve, I think the issue is that it is a religion that learnt from Christianity insofar as injecting the concept of being flawed into a mind, and then compounded that with further I guess I don't know if I could call them, but if you're a sincere Muslim, they think about it every second of the day.
It's called a mukmanoon.
I wasn't aware of that phrase, but yeah, it is a religion that contaminates the mind, then consumes it so that every thought you have is within the context of the religion. As Firth Sean put it,
Native atheist.
I don't know how to pronounce his name, a crazy German philosopher. Islam is about certitude. It is about the thought that it's the belief that there is only one absolute, and the essence of absolute is God, and the concept of absolute is absolute. And I think that's why, particularly when you look at Renaissance history in Europe, the Ottoman Empire became particularly aggressive towards Europe once it created the printing press, and once composers like Bach and Handel were producing beautiful music, because Islam is predicated on the idea that the only thing that could ever cause elation or enlightenment is God. If you can get that outside of the sphere of religion, then it's haram.
But you know what? You got to be fair though. When talking about Islam, you have to be fair. As far as the scientific renaissance, 7th century, Islam had the best scientific education and renaissance in the world during that time.
That's absolutely true.
From the cultures that were already there.
Oh yeah, I mean a lot of things that we use in mathematics today is because of people like Al-Rabi Idris, Muhammad Akbar. These people were brilliant people, but eventually, what happened after Muhammad and the first generation of Sahabas died, they just started letting religion and spookism just take them out of the pocket. But Islam had a beautiful renaissance, man. I mean, algebra, all those things, Islamic ideas.
I would say that's more due to the culture, and that when that culture was snuffed out because of the religion.
Right. But the thing about it, it's like a twofold thing. That particular culture was actually begun because of religion as well, and then the religion killed itself. So it was, it was like a two-sided sword,
But there were leaders in astronomy. One of the leaders.
History. Yeah, from what I understand about the history of this is that around 1100, before that they were great at it, but 1100 some kind of religious idiot said that numbers are actually evil, and at that point they no longer followed algebra or anything else, and everything went from there. Right. They were great before. They were better than Europe.
Yeah, like I said, they were leading in a lot of different ways.
And then Islam took over.
Yes.
Right.
Well, it was actually a specific leader.
Christianity, but just like Christianity or any other kind of religion, it's a wonderful idea at first until it becomes to the point where you introduce a Bible where the only message, real subconscious message is you better obey or die, more or less.
It's about submission, right? It's all about
submission is the word. I guess is a better way of saying.
Well, no, I would totally disagree. I would say a lot of these religions are good, but what keeps them back from being great is the fundamentalists. They start spreading fear. Like you guys have seen it with like the younger creationism stuff and like the intelligent design stuff. It's all based off fear. The world is bad and scary, and if you keep on going and keep on researching, you're gonna lose your faith.
Well, I've seen that knowledge takes you away from God.
Tree of knowledge,
knowledge is because they relate that though. They'll say, knowledge is what kicked us out of the Garden of Eden, and therefore, the more knowledge you have, the more you turn away from God. And
I just think the Garden of Eden wasn't fair because how did Adam and Eve know they were doing something wrong if they didn't know right from wrong?
I think we have a lawyer in here or something, but go ahead.
You do?
So
I was making a joke about the way he was presenting it. Never mind.
Odie and Wayne jumped in. I didn't want to ignore them.
Can I ask if anyone has ever considered this? It's always been a bit of a personal hypothesis. I've thought that the reason Europe was able to break out of the Dark Ages was inadvertently because of Christianity, because there's a canon of different authors and different ideas and contradictions. It provoked debate. It provoked people to try and consolidate different ideas and form a coherent, logical text. So in the spirit of forcing people to debate contradictory ideas, it brought about, a need to basically form rational discourse, and inadvertently led to the
I believe the real situation there is that some of those religious people got us some moments of sanity, and the science saved us, I think.
Well, I mean,
out of the Dark Ages. I mean, that's my opinion again. I'm not.
We actually have a scholar here, Christian scholar here, that may want to like jump in at any time if they have any input on this particular Christian, influence on the Arab world.
Well, if I could just jump in real quick, throw out my 2 cents. My wife is going to be home here in a few minutes anyway, so I don't have a whole lot of time. But as far as the Muslim scholarship, I have some favorite Muslim philosophers, Avicenna being one of them.
Oh yeah,
and they did take. They took the texts from the West with Aristotle and Arab Aristotelianism, but thank God that the Muslims certainly carried on learning during Europe's Dark Ages.
That's true.
But as far as Christianity and science, it's very interesting how theism provided the foundation for the scientific method, and the assumption of the uniformity of nature is a theistic assumption, and it certainly was. Go ahead.
But is that fair to say? Because wasn't there? Okay, we can say that. All right, Christianity brought in the sciences, but wasn't everyone religious back then? Where the hell was it going to come from?
Well, actually came from the Reformation, and back to the Ed Fontes, back to the sources, the foundational languages. You had Christian humanism, the arts, the study of the arts. It was just really going back to the Greeks, going back to Athens, and that opened up, for example, the whole idea of biblical interpretation, hermeneutics, and the Reformation. That's based on the scientific method, which is deduced from Scripture. And so you'll find historians of science talking about the fact that it was only within the foundation of Christianity, in a general sense, that science could have started, because of the assumption of the uniformity of nature, that God is the creator, natural law. And then what ended up happening is this natural law became such a dogma that you had Hume come in, and basically miracles were defined out of possibility because of the uniformity of nature. It's a very interesting thing that happened throughout science and where we are today.
That's an interesting perspective of it, yes.
But Kenny, doesn't that go to the whole problem of induction, that we're assuming the uniform of nature that we build science upon?
Well, the uniformity of nature was based upon a creator, theism. That is an assumption of theism.
Yeah, Hume. I think Hume coined that phrase, if I'm not mistaken. I think so.
Which one was that?
Didn't Hume coin the phrase uniformity of nature?
I think it was Laplace.
Was it Laplace?
I thought we came from a rock. That's what Kent says.
I thought it was Kent Hovind that coined it.
Oh, Kent is an embarrassment. Good grief.
Yeah, I have to look into that. Another look up. Add it to my notepad of things that I probably never get to in life.
Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to have 2 lives?
No,
where you could really study these things.
I had
There's so many things I'd love to do.
No, I could do this, and at the same time, I get multi-core in my head, and okay, let's try to find that. But I'm just not interested enough to go check it out.
Fuzz Rana is doing a presentation on transhumanism, and when I was down there, he gave us all a sneak peek of his talk for the AMP conference, and there's just some amazing things going on with the integration of technology and biology. He showed a clip of this lady. They had things, literally connected to her brain, and she was writing and playing music with the symphony.
I've seen electronic skin just recently.
Oh, it's just amazing where the technology's going.
No, but I mean, how's that working in his narrative? I mean, because obviously Fuzz has some unique perspectives on things.
Well, you know, it's just basically talking about the Christian. How should a Christian respond to this stuff?
How should a Christian respond to it?
It's just the issue that any good can also be used as an evil, and as long as we don't take away from what, you know, makes a human being, a dignity of a human being.
That's a metaphysical question.
Christianity, you know, is certainly behind technological advances.
But isn't that a very metaphysical question? What makes a human human?
Certainly, but I love metaphysics.
Well, I had a discussion earlier with anti-Orientalism.
He does love metaphysics.
We dived a little about metaphysics, but I think I should have reined it back a little bit, because I find it fascinating too. I think metaphysics is very interesting. But a lot of people have this notion that metaphysics doesn't really do anything for anybody. I have to disagree. I find it to be a very fascinating field, very complicated field, not something easy.
No, it's, you know, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know.
I only have a very, very tertiary understanding of metaphysics, but I think that the questions of why we exist, why we have ethics, things of that nature cannot be explained by science. I think those could only be metaphysics.
That's a philosophical debate. That is, yeah,
absolutely. But people have this aversion to philosophy, like AO has this aversion to philosophy, and I see that quite frequently. And I do get it, but I think it's a shame because they don't see the beauty of these types of discussions when it comes to philosophy. And I more recently do now than I ever have before, because I've listened to people talk about these things, and I find there is value to these conversations.
Yeah,
I think I was listening to a lady you were talking to a couple weeks back, and how she just didn't like philosophy. But that very statement is a statement of philosophy. So you can either have good philosophy or bad philosophy.
Well, I made the argument that I think a lot of people do philosophy, but they don't realize that they're doing it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's a matter of having good philosophy. Everybody does philosophy. If you ask them what kind of car they like, they're going to engage in some sort of philosophy, aesthetics or something.
Absolutely. That's true. So many branches. That's right. Aesthetics is a branch of philosophy. That's right.
Aesthetics is a branch of philosophy. Exactly.
That's right. You're right about that. Hey, I have to make a move for a minute, Steve. I'll be back, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I found metaphysics kind of interesting, but I only got into it back in college a few decades ago. I got into it, but it didn't really fulfill what I was interested in looking at. So,
well, again, though, there's like, for example, like I was trying to talk to AO. By the way, we had an amazing discussion. I have to say once again, if you haven't go check out Anti-Ordinary's channel, very, very good videos. But we had a really good discussion. But one of the point I brought up is because science itself tells us, you know, an explanation for something, right? It gives us a naturalistic explanation to a naturalistic phenomenon. But the problem is that it doesn't have any framework unto itself. Philosophy gives us the framework, gives us a framework from which science deals with. Methodological naturalism is philosophy. Falsification criteria, philosophy. And so there is a philosophy of science. And I don't think that she was seeing the value of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is important to a certain point to still keep the philosophy with the science.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Kind of funny, because the only time I've really put that much thought into the role of philosophy and science is, for example, with psychology. If you're creating a construct that can, indicate the extent to which one behaves in a certain way from a scale of 0 to 10, how do you justify that your construct accurately captures the behavior and the veracity of said behavior? So, for example, anger or jealousy or agreement. But other than that, I'm not seeing your point. Like, if I'm doing an acid titration in the lab, Steve, at what point am I considering, I guess, my epistemological and ontological approach to the acid titration?
I've actually done titrations in the Navy, believe it or not. You have to actually do titrations and get a little pipette thing or whatever, the burette, and you sit there and go, okay, drop, change color, nope, drop. And then you have to measure the little thing and this grant. It's like I hated it. I didn't like it. I was not designed to do chemistry, and that's why it was part of something I had to learn. Part of my rate, but there was a specialized part of my rate that did that called the engineering laboratory technician. I was glad I was not one, but they did get a nice air conditioned room.
Well, when I was in college, I tried science, but my aptitude was more, well, electronics and troubleshooting and stuff, like figuring things out. Being more of a technician than an engineer or a scientist. So,
Richard,
of my lab, I was the only one to rock up drunk on a Sunday and have to clear the lab out because of a chemical spill.
I never had to do any chemical spills. I've had a chemical suit on numerous times for drills. I never had to clean up an actual radiological spill. We had to do many drills for radiological spills.
I was drunk and accidentally knocked over a jar of hydrochloric acid. I think it had a molarity of 4. It was fucking strong.
Yeah, that's a little hydrochloric. Get some what's it? What's that? Hydrofluoric acid. That's some acid. Yeah, I think hydrofluoric acid eats like anything, like even porcelain and shit. So I don't know what the pH is, but it's pretty
from what I understand. The only way can contain it is with Teflon. Yeah,
is that what it is? Hydrofluoric acid is Teflon?
Yeah, so because the fluoride will eat through the glass, but it won't eat through the fluoride carbon bond.
Yeah, hydrofluoric acid we eat through like a beaker, right?
Yeah, I don't know much about chemistry, to be honest. That's just I know about hydrofluoric acid.
Well, the easier way to find out is what kind of a container does it come in?
Fluoride. Sorry, Teflon. You've got to put a hydrofluoric acid in Teflon.
No, but I'm saying, how do you get the acid? Does the acid come in Teflon? Well, there you go. There's one thing you can't eat through.
Maybe you synthesize it in Teflon. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know enough about acids and bases to know exactly why they were able to break certain bonds for like polyurethane and polystyrene, but not Teflon. I don't know. We have biochemists around that would be able to tell us, but I'm not one of them.
I always found chemistry very fascinating, but at the same time, very complicated. Very.
Yeah, I just hated figuring out molecular weights of stuff. Okay, you got this much of a compound. Here's the molecular weight of each element. Here's your proportions. How many moles do you have? Take Avogadro's number. How many atoms do you have?
Thanks for reminding me of all that stuff. God,
what's that?
No. I said thanks for reminding me, but no thanks. It's like I never liked that.
Never was a fan of chemistry. Sorry,
I love that shit in high school. In fact, I actually I did my undergraduate in psychology, but I studied chemistry in my spare time because I loved it that much. And I think I got to about first year university level before some of the I forget the textbook. It's by Atkins. It's a really famous one. The second it started getting into calculating the probability of where electrons are going to be, my brain exploded and thought, okay, this is as far as I'm going to get without actually having to go to class.
There's certain fields that I do strongly believe that you really, it'd be very hard to say you're autodidactic in biochemistry, chemistry, are subjects that I just don't think you're able to go, oh, I'm going to go read something online, wiki, and understand the concepts. I don't find that that's going to be a reasonable way to approach that particular subject. I think you actually have to go and learn that in class.
Yeah, I mean, I did hire a tutor to help me get my head around how to calculate molecular weights, but once I had my head around it, I had about 4 lessons with him. I just kept on going on my own. Then I thought, fuck this, I'm not going to learn physics just to go further on this. I've taught myself as much chemistry as I'm happy with.
Yeah, I need to know the chemistry only to the point of how's electronic, transistor, for instance, work. That's about it. That was good enough for me.
I just found the right doctor to write C2s. After that, I didn't give a shit.
But actually, I just realized we have a biochemist in the live chat. I'm not going to call them out real quick. Maybe they won't. But maybe they can kind of explain to us more why certain types of materials are more prone to acid attacks than other kinds. Because it's not that I'm not interested in the topic. I am, but I wasn't back then to the point where I was like, because it's so menial. I'm sorry. no offense to the biochemists and chemists and stuff. It's just very tedious work. You gotta get quiet. I'm sorry. What am I missing here?
I don't know, Steve. Fucking change the topic. Make one up.
Richard. Okay, Richard.
Hey.
How was your beard?
It it left me. I don't know. It's gone.
So you like doing that, I don't know, month-old thing now? Is that what you're going to be sporting?
Well, I was thinking of being clean shaven for a while, but I've just been too lazy. So
yeah, I'm going to shave my sides. I'm going to actually just, I don't like the beard anymore. I don't think it's me. And I'm going to shave the beard. I'm going to keep the goatee and trim it. I'm going to do some with my hair.
That's too much grooming.
Yeah. Well,
back in 2008,
I have coffee plants.
I've been shaving my head and my face with those clippers for a decade now.
What's that?
Fucking best. Back in about 2008, I bought a pair of clippers. You know, the bzzz things. And I started shaving my head, then I started using it on my beard. And,
I don't want to shave my head. I like my long hair.
I haven't bought shampoo or given a shit about conditioner in a decade.
Oh, God. How do you manage it then? Oh, well, you get your bald. See, I have to condition all the time because
exactly. I used to have hair down to my shoulders. But
if I don't condition, I found what happens is my hair gets these little freaking knots, and they're just either impossible to get out or you have to like break them.
Rasta Steve.
Oh, it's horrible, man. I've become a connoisseur of women's beauty supplies to try to keep this 40-year-old long hair in.
It's a challenge. I mean, I have to when I condition, I usually do it twice, and I'll leave it second longer. And
you know what's great, Steve? Get the It's a Tan stuff.
It's a what?
It's called It's a Tan. You got to get it in a beauty shop.
So I think the general consensus is, I guess, like Odeon is going, thank God. So you guys think I should go back to being clean shaven and then a little bit shorter goatee, or at least trimmed a little bit, but shave the sides, yes. Yeah, Shaman Watch says, "Are we doing grooming tips for discerning atheists?" It's funny you mentioned that, Shaman Watch, because this Monday we have an interview, which won't be live, but we'll be recording it then. But we have an interview with a guy named McCrae Huff, who is a hairstylist for a show called LA Hair, and he's also on Chicagolicious, and he does super famous people's hair, and he's on call, and he's going to actually give me advice for a makeover. But I've already got to go into, with okay, this is what I want to do. So, and he's actually maybe willing to. I mean, I cut my hair if I go to LA, and we might make a trip to LA with my partner Kyle for my podcast, and that'd be fun. That'd be a live stream Steve makeover. we're trying to get Carbon Electra to join us, but
oh God, I can't. Oh
well, she's
have you met her?
No, but she's a friend of Kyle's, and she's very introverted, and I don't know if it'd just be anything of real interest.
What a blank slate!
Yeah, that's what I kind of get.
We need someone annoying and argumentative in here.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, okay. Well, not the second. But thank you, Richard. But yeah, if I'm going to live stream, I want something like at least converse.
If we don't have that, then we're just talking about Steve's beard all night.
I think it's my beard. Hey, do you know how long we talked about the beard of contingency? Trey Jadlow?
No.
A long time. He had the most meticulously groomed beard I have ever seen. I mean, I swear to you, that man numbered each and every hair. He knew if number 62,432 was out of place. He knew it. So Shaman Watch, he's a connoisseur of fine grooming. So,
hey Steve, you know who a guy who's a pretty sharp free thinker, he's an atheist as well, is George Lynch.
As well? What do you mean as well?
Well, he's an atheist as far as there's a lot of free thinking atheists. I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm just talking about the community. He would be a great person to. George Lynch, remember the guitar player from Dokken?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, he said L.A., you know, and he loves this kind of stuff.
I met the lead singer for Whitesnake. His name was oh my goodness,
David Coverdale.
No, not Whitesnake. Then the other one, Great White.
Oh yeah.
What's his name? Jack Russell.
Okay,
yeah, he came into my store one day. But we're trying to interview. Ever heard of a group called I think they're called Fastway?
No.
I think that's the name of the band. Is it Fastway or Fast something or other? They had a very popular song a few years ago.
You haven't lived until you've been a bouncer for Pure Prairie League for 3 years.
Yeah.
At least they used to open for Foreigner, so all wasn't lost.
Oh, I love Foreigner. I used to jam Foreigner, man.
Steve, one guest you could consider having on. I'm a big fan of his channel. His name is John Michael Godier. He's a science fiction author and a futurist, and he loves focusing on the possibility of life. He's got a lot of really interesting thoughts, and he's quite imaginative in thinking of scenarios in which life could feasibly even come to rise in places as far as Neptune, or sorry, as cold and as inhospitable as Neptune.
Well, I know we're planning to send a submersible submarine. I think to one of Saturn's moons. I think in like 2 decades. Okay, Kylo's got to go. Okay, Kylo, thank you, Kenny. By the way, give my regards to Hugh Ross and to Fuzz Rana. Tell Fuzz next time you see him, I'm very grateful for him taking my Facebook questions.
Okay, cool. Hey, did Anastasia get a hold of you?
She did, actually, and she's talked about you and Ken Samples coming on when you guys are free. She said you're going to check.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love her. She is really. I mean, honestly, she really. I'm putting on the spot here, but she's really that nice. She
really is. Yeah, she's very personable, cute. Very nice. Yeah.
Now you gotta send us photos.
It's funny. She actually looks like an ex-girlfriend I had right out of high school. Now I just said it publicly, but I was gonna keep that to myself. But anyway, yeah, she's very nice, very sweet.
Yeah, she was a pleasure to deal with.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk to you all later. Good night.
Bye.
Hey, Steve, speaking of very nice, what do you think about people like cordial curiosity, the way, the street epistemology? What do you think about them?
I do watch a little bit of the street epistemology. In fact, I just talked to Anthony Mandabosco today. I asked him something on Facebook, and he gave me pretty good advice as far as my question. I think street epistemology has a ways to go, but I think it's coming along to be a pretty effective form.
What I'm saying is though, their methodology, so to speak, it's just like they're, I don't know, how do I put it? They get somebody on the hook and then they let them off the hook and they're like, yeah, I know, yeah, I agree, and it's like there's like no pushback at all, and these people just go on, and he just keeps on bringing out that little box of Tic Tacs and starts talking about the even and odd numbers in a fishbowl type thing. I don't know. I watched him for about 2 days, and then I just found him to be very annoying.
I don't think I've watched that particular stuff.
Okay.
I like I say, I have my own reservations of street epistemology, but I think it's coming along. But I haven't watched what you were referring to now.
Hey, did you see the last or listen to the last debate between who was it? Richard Carrier and Ray Comfort.
No, but I'm glad you brought that up because
he's on your birthday, February 14th. Richard Carrier is my friggin' hero. But Ray Comfort has got a thing about.
We'll get Ray Comfort on eventually. It's not even. I don't think it's going to be that much of a problem.
How old is he now? He's like 70 something.
I don't think Ray Comfort. He's not that old.
Maybe yes, he is.
Ray Comfort, 70. I'd put
him
up
there.
Well,
all they kept on talking about was having sex with children.
I think he's a freak, but I have no idea.
He's up there. I'm telling you, he's like 70 years old.
He might be pushing 70. Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
He's 68 years old. Just Google.
But when it comes to like the Richard Carrier, so anyways, Richard's been very, very nice so far. I mean, we've had some very cool conversations with him, myself, and Heretic Woman, just the three of us. And I know there's drama going on with him and some other things with the Milwaukee Mythicists that I'm not involved in myself with. But he was going to discuss the argument of the empty tomb with S.J. Thomason, I think her name is, or something like that. She's a Christian. Her name's actually Christian apologist on Twitter or something like that. Or it's a blog by that name. And I think that she has to actually be out of town that day, so that might be changed. So what we're going to try to do is on the 14th on the Non Sequitur Show channel. If you guys have not subscribed to it, the link will be in the video description. I didn't put anything in this video description because I've noticed almost all the videos lately get that little yellow thing. So I just put nothing in there and see what happens.
What's the little yellow thing?
The demonetization of Doom symbol.
Oh.
And so I'll put the link in afterwards, but it'll be on the live streaming from the Non Sequitur Show channel. And then we're going to try to discuss what we want to discuss on the 28th when he rejoins us for the podcast and who wants to go up against him. We had a great person, but she can't make it. So we have to come up with a different thing. So. But that sound interesting?
Well, I pretty much own everything he's got out there. I'm just the only thing my only complaint is his Crestus app is not all that that I expected. But if you own the big book, it's just basically a fast track guide to it. But I mean, the thing about Dr. Carrier is the way he just says, hey, look, in so many words, the Gospels are bullshit. These are, this is just one myth rolled up, into one. And
go against Richard. Richard versus Richard. That'd be awesome. But I think he kind of wants to go against something that has credentials.
No, I think Richard versus Han Solo would be phenomenal.
Ooh, that is not a bad idea. Did someone feed you smart pills today, David?
No, matter of fact,
I don't know if General would be good in that kind of thing. It's not an area that he is very strong in.
Well, why not? They're one guy's going to say, "Hey, look, this is why this is mythology and it couldn't happen," and Hans is going to say, "Well, we can go back here, here, here." Richard's going to be the only one that can keep up with him.
Well, I mean, do you think he knows the argument of the empty tomb?
Yes.
Okay. I can answer.
Yeah, I think that.
Okay. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you're going to get a scholar for the atheist side, you should get someone who is as credentialed to go up against him.
Yeah, and I kind of agree with that. I mean, he is legit PhD, and I kind of want somebody that has a little bit of academic standing. Yeah. I mean, like Kylo would have been great.
How about Maximus? Max might be good.
Max wouldn't be bad. Max has a debate coming up too with somebody. Him and Emperor Atheist are having a debate.
Interesting.
Yeah. So actually, here's we've got. Okay, this is a little itinerary that's coming up. Sunday we have a flat Earth discussion at 2:00 PST. That's going to be with Nathan Oakley, Anthony Riley and Ranty, supposedly, if Anthony Oakley can get all of them together, but if not, it's going to be Nathan Oakley for sure. But he's going to be up against the Rumpus, John Hufford, Gio Stryber, George, and maybe Reds if he doesn't have to work. And so, yeah, I don't think flat earthers are going to have much of a chance, but what can go wrong?
Oh, that's
maybe they might convince us the earth is flat, right? You never know.
I am sick to fucking death of flat earth, but I still come back for the retard shaming. I don't know why.
It's something that just isn't going to go away. So every so often
everyone slows down to see a train wreck.
Yeah, we peer that darkness every so often. You know?
And a part of me feels bad that our supposed great debate community can so quickly digress into just a bitch fest of pointing and laughter, but.
Well, you obviously know that's not the direction I'm taking, my channel, and so it's always fun to do that. Don't get me wrong, but
it brings in a wider audience, because if I didn't even know about the GDC and I saw it posted somewhere else that it's a flat Earth discussion, I'm in. I don't care about anything or anybody.
Flat Earthers, they are popular stuff. Later, Richard. Yeah, so I mean, I think it's going to be interesting. I know what I think they're going to be arguing, and I know Rumpus has already destroyed it. So,
but anyway, I just like Red's approach. Listen, you fucking retard.
So on Monday we got Zod, Prophet of Zod versus Greg Geiler, and that's going to be on morality. And then on Sunday the 18th we have EA versus Max. So a lot of stuff planned. We are definitely filling up the itinerary, and then on the off days, you guys haven't noticed, we are sending the podcast to the Non Sequitur channel, and there's been some really good podcasts so far. But our discussion with Pam Whistle from American Atheist was exceptionally good. We interviewed Seth from the Thinking Atheist the other day, right? That was really good. We've got a lot of things lined up for that podcast, huge things. So, but we are also going to put it on the channel, so you don't have to download it from iTunes.
Hey, Steve, have you ever had anything with Matt Delahunty? I mean, has he ever been on the channel or whatever?
No, we do have him scheduled for the podcast. We're about to be scheduled. He knows of our podcast. He knows of the show. And
who's that guy that just came out against him?
And TJ Kirk.
He's a vegan guy.
Who?
They've been having a back and forth. He called Matt out on cruelty to. He's like super theist. And he called Matt out on animal cruelty because Matt eats meat. Oh God, I'm trying to remember this guy's name.
Oh, God dang it! I saw him call into the show.
Yeah, he called in at the last.
Yeah, minute, I don't remember.
And then he had a half-hour rant after the show. About Matt. It's like.
Who's this fine-looking gentleman that popped in here?
Oh, that'd be me.
Oh, listen to him. That's me. How are you, my guitar friend?
Did you say Sam Andrews? It's Seth Andrews.
Seth Andrews. No, I said Sam, but then I said Seth.
Oh, okay.
Seth Andrews, atheist. Very nice guy. Good story to tell.
Yeah, one of my heroes. I love the guy.
Yeah, I actually told him. I was actually surprised that I actually agreeing with him on a lot of the things that he was saying. But he was very cordial, very nice to us. He actually enjoyed it, and he said that he thinks that our podcast is going to do exceptionally well. So.
Yeah, probably one of the most sweetest people.
Very pleasant. So far, everybody we've dealt with has been very, very nice. Pam was very nice. She, by the way, is going to have an on-air discussion with G-Man.
Oh, Jesus.
Fucking go wrong. She wanted it. We didn't bring it up to her. She wanted it. Well, maybe Kyle did a little bit, but I'm really gung-ho about that.
Actually, you know what? That's how I found out about the Great Debate community. It was G-Man. When he went on to Drunken Peasants, I ended up searching him up and then found Jason Green's channel, and then found your channel.
Yeah, well, G-Man has been out there for a while.
I'm surprised that like I haven't come in here in like 3 months than I do, and you're still talking about G-Man.
Well, they're never going to speak.
G-Man
They
is
never.
life.
I mean, let's be realistic. It's always going to be part of the itinerary. I mean, do you think that we would miss out on some of the things? Because I have a rapport with G-Man to a point. I think that he's overstepped his lines recently, and I kind of had to distance myself a little bit from him because I think he did go beyond the pale. But
he overstepped his lines. What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't want to get into it, but I think he overstepped, and I have to be true to myself. And I think that when you make certain personal,
did they call you fat?
No, it wasn't towards me.
Oh, was it about your mother?
Yes, it was about my mom. Yeah, totally about my mom. So, anyway, so he. Do you guys know? I mean, you were around, but Scott may know when he called me up and he's like, "Hey, Steve, have you heard? There's no more separation of church and state."
Oh yeah, that's my favorite video.
Yeah.
I think I remember that.
Okay, so he's like just convinced to this, and I'm trying to tell him, dude, no, Trump did not overturn the separation of church and state. He wouldn't have it. I was like,
yes, okay, yeah. Now I remember. I was just like all caps going, no, you don't get it.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, Steve, you better do a hangout on this before I beat you to it." I'm like, "Go nuts!" Actually, I tried talking about it.
Of course, he's like, "You don't know what you're talking about."
I got some of my best sound effects off of that one video.
It was epic. But here's the question I really like to know more is how many people on that side of the fence agreed with him that there is no more separation of church and state. I couldn't find one that ever came out saying it. Now Ronnie had a video on it, but he never actually came out and said one way or the other whether he was agreeing.
Oh yeah, by the way, Steve, fuck you. Because I started binge watching Ronnie, and every time I watch him, my water bill's gone up. I got to shower every time after 10 minutes. Oh, Christ.
Well, so far, all of them have come in to talk to Shannon, but I'm not inviting Ronnie. So, but even Antonio Fletcher had a nice conversation with Shannon. I got to admit, he had a good conversation. You can't.
It was really good.
He didn't. So
it's her demeanor, it's how she just talks to them too. I think it helps that she's not argumentative. Even the godless girl thing, which I was a little nervous of, but that went well too.
Oh, yeah, right off the bat, godless girl said, "You're just too nice."
Somebody has actually said the Drunken Peasant showed that G-Man video last night and laughed at it. Well, he doesn't mention my name on it, but he says that he called it agnostic in the community. Guess what? That was because there's only like a handful. Process of elimination.
What are all those barrels in the background where he works?
Somebody told me one of these days, and I don't remember.
Those are all the laughs.
They're all
barrel laughs.
Barrel laughs.
They're all the laughs. Yeah, it was a really bad joke.
Real bad.
Yeah, too bad we don't have any earthquakes in New Jersey. I'm waiting for one of those barrels just to fall over him.
Yeah, I know Ronnie talked to her on TST, but I mean, for a less talk with Shannon, I don't think I should. I'm not going to have Ronnie on for that. I don't.
Maybe Shannon would be a good one for Hovind.
Shannon would be a great one for Hovind.
Yeah, but Hovind wouldn't go for that.
Actually,
why not?
That's
right. Women are second-class citizens. That's right.
One of the things behind the whole "let's talk with Shannon" is that the idea was that Shannon doesn't know anything about these people before she goes in. Right? I mean, I've introduced to people she would never, ever run across. I know a lot of people, right? I mean, people come and go all the time. Nobody really knows the amount of people that are involved. I mean, we see new faces, and yet, people go, who the hell? Like Prepper. Prepper takes off for a long period of time because he travels. But every time Prepper comes in, I know Prepper, but people might go, who's this? Who's this new guy? Well, no, Prepper's not a new guy.
I've been here.
How would she do against Pillbox?
What's that?
How would she do against Pillbox, you think? How would she do against Pillbox?
I don't know how to answer that, dude.
What about Darwin's deity? What about him? I think Shannon, that would be an interesting.
I would have Darwin's deity. Yes, I would allow that.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting because it would get him off his regular script, because all he ever does is his regular script,
and I'd like to see his reaction when he's not able to use his, his regular, semantic script and try and answer things honestly.
I think she'd be okay with that. I think she would do it. I don't think she would accuse anybody, really.
Yeah, I think she would be okay, but I don't think Dee Dee would be okay with that. I think he'd lose his mind.
I've seen him happen. Yeah.
Matt Bell would just flirt the whole time.
Okay.
He would be very distracted.
Matt Bell is very difficult to work with to arrange things. I have a friend who has a podcast, and he tried to arrange to have Matt on, and it was just a nightmare. And I don't think I could handle working with him to try to get him arranged to have him with a discussion with Shannon. It would be too much of a hassle.
Really? Matt Bell speak to an attractive woman one-on-one?
But to what point? He's just a contrarian. I think he's the ultimate contrarian. And you mentioned about Pobox. I mean, what would be the point of that? I mean, we don't know what Pobox believes. Nobody knows. He's just all over the place.
Right.
And so she would just be like, this is kind of a very boring conversation. I don't know.
Weren't you going to get her hooked up with Rose Patton at one point?
Yeah, we're still arranging that. Rose wants to do that.
Cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Oh, please. I have to be in on that.
I think Rose. I know Rose would do it.
I tried to get still around.
Rose was in here a couple days. Well, 2 weeks ago. It was awesome.
Really?
Yes.
I haven't seen her in a year and a half, 2 years.
I have a good rapport with Rose. Rose actually likes me for whatever reason. We actually get it.
Wow.
Yeah. She doesn't like you anymore?
Good for you.
Did you like you?
Rose and I go back and forth every once in a while. So,
yeah, okay.
I mean, we did.
Yeah, we're cool with each other. And she came in and she it was interesting. I don't know how many to describe it. It was interesting.
I remember that night that turned into that morning that turned into that night.
Yeah. Well, who else would you guys want to see Shannon go up against? I mean, they're all good ideas. Anybody else?
What about Nephilim?
Already did.
Sure, he did.
Oh, she did? Oh, that's right. Crap.
I said I couldn't even imagine.
Vecca would be boring.
Who would?
Yeah, Vecca would be boring.
Yeah, I reached out to Vecca, but then I realized I think you're right. I don't think that'd be a video.
I'd be very interested in seeing Ronnie talk to Shannon. Because, I mean, all I've ever seen is a retarded robot with a script. Seeing a bit more of his human side would be fun.
Yeah, I don't think I you know what? I have ethical issues with Ronnie and her talk.
Well, Ronnie's playing the victim card now, too.
Do whatever else she wants. She could take her, the whole goal of this was to get her bigger channel. And then when she gets her, more subs to her channel, she can take the show over to her channel. That's the whole kind of goal with it. But then she's like, I think she's trying to win the record for the highest amount of subs with having no videos. She has no videos and she has like 600 subs or something. How odd is that?
She's cute. What do you expect?
She's a good conversationalist, though. I mean, she knows how to handle a conversation.
Well, more importantly, she knows how to have a rational, kind of calm conversation.
Yeah,
like you said, it's non-confrontational. I think is one of the reasons why it works with her.
Right, and I think that's kind of the when we were formulating this idea, that was kind of the approach that we were going to take, and knowing how she is, I thought it was the best way to go. Just a non-confrontational, just discussion. And she does a brilliant job.
I think she's got a little undertone. I think she's got a little undertone of flirtation, though, with the guests, like that fake flirtation. I'm going to be really, really nice to you, but I don't want to. But maybe I could be wrong.
Well, that's just not. I think a lot of people do that in interview situations. It tries to put the other person in a more.
Well, I think her and Eric were hitting it off, and then when she laughed at Eric when Eric brought up the Ben Stein movie, and then she just like laughed at him. That was it. That relationship was over.
Spoken for a woman, so Apology is her boyfriend, and they met on my channel. Yes, they met in here. So they're gonna name their first kid after me. No, they won't, but whatever.
McCrae? That's a weird name.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I can't even spell it right.
No, yeah, twice or 3 times you can't spell it right. That's okay.
I got it right today, though.
You did, yes. That's an improvement.
That's after the geek room told me. Well, I have dyslexia. I'm sorry.
Well, you didn't reverse anything. You just added an extra C, I think.
No, M, small c, capital R-A-E, correct?
Yeah, and you had MC, capital C-R-A-E.
Yeah, but I changed it this morning.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I didn't repost it. I gave it to the geek room to make fun of you.
People, yeah, I watched it. Should I start a meeting service? People are asking me in live, Steve. You know, if I could, like, I have set people up before. I've actually, because of me, and women that have cheated on me, they actually got married to the person. So because of me, people are happy and happy families.
Hey,
like
my ex-wife married her divorce attorney. Okay?
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
That is messed up.
Damn.
That is messed up. Okay, you win. You win, man.
That's why I went to law school. Jesus.
Oh, God, that's hilarious.
Want to get her back?
Steve, no, you're
sorry.
You got fucked right when your divorce lawyer marries your ex.
So Steve, now you're saying that you're a matchmaker. How come you never hooked me up?
That's first of all, that's a Jewish term. I think it's called a yentel.
A yenta.
Not a lentil, but a yentel.
No, a yenta, not a yentel.
Steve actually hooked me up with his mom.
My mom, way out of your league. Yeah. But no, I don't know. I've just started a matchmaking service. But I can tell you right now, I have, and this is, I don't care, but I have a very nice coffee appointment with a very cute friend. So, yeah, I get out of the house. Way out of my league, friend. Way out of my league. But
what's his name?
That's a really good question.
that was so lame. But
it's called Yenta. But my apologies to all the Jewish people out there and my own people because I'm culturally Jewish. Yeah, Yenta. Okay, I thought it was Yenta.
What, Steve, when she asks you what you do for a living, what are you going to say?
She knows all about me.
Oh,
she's part of the community.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he's a shoe designer.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm off the Jewish list, Mike says. Yeah, I was never a good Jew. Sorry.
Well, when you meet someone new in person, are you ever embarrassed? Like, oh yeah, I run an online.
She came over to my house the other day, they sent her over to come when I was like, I guess they thought that I wasn't around for a couple of days. They sent her over to my house to come check up on me. We ended up talking
that day. I had 4 people contacting me. Have you heard from Steve?
Yeah.
It's like,
no, it actually worked out great because a friend who lives in the area I got to actually visit with, and it was nice. I think it's nice to have a friend.
It's nice to have a friend.
And I'm sure through me she'll find the love of her life and live happily ever after. That's how it usually works.
Get a dog.
Get a dog.
The dog will just run away.
I'll get hit by a car. I've had 2 happen. Thank you for depressing me. Hey, wait, can they take away my Jew card? I don't think that's possible, is it?
A Jew card? What's a Jew card?
No, Jew card.
Jew card.
You're a Jew?
Yeah, Eric wants to take away my Jew card. You can't take away my Jew card. Can you? Is it really Yenta? I thought it was Yentel for some reason.
No, it's Yenta.
Yenta, okay.
With an A.
So
Yentel is Barbara Streisand. Yenta.
Oh, there's a movie. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yentel is a Yiddish term for aristocrats, or an adjective for being noble.
Oh, is that what? Okay, so there is a thing. The only Yiddish word I actually really knew was Keppela, which meant head.
How about putz?
Oh, putz or schmuck or schmiel or goyim.
You see?
Shine for the
You're on your way.
Are you Jew?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
Matter of fact, I almost got kicked out of the at a soda last week when I had these there were these 2 Jewish reporters sitting next to me, and they're like, "Why isn't Trump talking about the Holocaust Remembrance Day? Blah 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 blah." And it's like, this one died in the Holocaust, that one died, and they look at me and it's like, what about you? I'm like, yeah, my grandfather died in Auschwitz. It's like, oh, that's terrible. And I'm like, yeah, He fell out of the guard tower laughing his ass off. They got up and left.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Doc says only a 33 level Jew can revoke my card. That would make him a Shriner, wouldn't it? Scottish Rite.
No. A Shiner and a Shriner. Oh, a Shriner?
Shriner is a 33 level Scottish Rite Freemason, isn't it? From what I remember, my granddad was one. Thought they were Shriners.
Do you get that commercial by you with that little from the Shriners Hospital? That little kid that talks about having his adorable blankie with him.
No,
it's like a real heartbreaker.
Must have
it comes on as often as like a My Pillow commercial. It's really annoying.
I don't watch. The only TV I watch is on computer on Couch Tuner. Oh, by the way, if you haven't, no spoilers because I hate people give spoilers. But if you haven't watched the last episode of How to Get Away with Murder, watch it. Watch it. I was like freaked out. I was like, "This is awesome!" I had no idea, and I don't want to go into much detail, but it's very good. I love my TV shows. I watch shows at night because I mean, after I get off the computer, I'm laying down like 90% of the time, and I'm on my laptop and I just watch TV. But
there goes your Jew card because the Jews own the media.
I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get a slice of that.
I don't even have cable TV. I try to avoid the commercials.
Well, it's not cable. You go to Couch Tuner.
No, don't even know what that is.
It's just a place to watch TV shows like a Scandal and Supernatural. I like.
Oh, okay.
The best show. You haven't seen it yet. Black Mirror. Oh, my
that
God.
was the one I was going to ask you, but yeah, I haven't seen a single episode of that. Everyone tells me it's great.
Oh, it is awesome. But
what's it about?
It's about how society, how we look at society through a new technological era and how it affects our humanity.
Okay, I'm eating
so dark,
and also like just how bad humans can be. Just the dark underbelly of humanity.
Yes, it's visceral. Somebody says, "Good luck to you, fellow atheists. It's never too late to accept Jesus till you're dead." I guess it's after that you're screwed.
Yeah, I still remember the first time I was brought into church and people were taking communion, and it's like you're eating the body of Christ, and I'm looking at this huge Jesus on a cross over the altar, and I'm like, geez, with all these people that were before me, are we up to his knee, his thigh? How much have we eaten of him?
I mean,
that's a 3-year-old's looking at it,
Yeah, I don't like the churches where you go in and you see this big old crucifix. I'd feel really weird. I don't get a holy feeling. If I go to church, I like to go like a Southern Baptist, black evangelical, like gospel, Southern gospel.
Yeah,
I like those things. They're fun, or even maybe a Pentecostal revival a little bit. But yeah, I mean those Southern black singers, oh my God, are they good? It's upbeat, if I think it's a church, that's how I kind of think of it.
Did you ever see Elvis's album? It's all his gospel songs, and you know what the title of the album is? He Touched Me.
Yeah,
and I'm like, it's so appropriate.
No, the best song.
Maybe appropriate for Roman Catholics.
Jesus.
There you go.
Jesus is my friend. By not Joe Sonseed, but this group called Sonseed. 10 hours of that song. There's a video out there. Jesus is my friend. Look who we got shown up here. Look at Mr. Rufif.
Yo,
you look all decked out in casual attire.
Oh, it's hot.
Yeah.
So I'm wearing a singlet. Yeah.
By the way, once again, I do want to publicly thank you for ruining my fingers.
Yeah.
They were bleeding almost, but that's good. Yeah. And then Scott and I will be jamming here. I already talked to Scott. We're going to be doing a jam session probably in a couple of weeks after I build up my calluses again because it hurts. Yeah. I'm not going to lie.
Dueling banjos.
Yeah, well, I think what's his name was wanted to do that. I don't know how to do dueling. I can do like Hotel California. I can do like Master of Puppets or something, but I don't know dueling banjos. But I don't even have to really like do much to build up the calluses. I just like push my fingers real hard on the strings. Is that a good way to do it, Scott? To build up calluses?
As far as what to everyone's different. I mean, I've been playing so long, so I forgot really. You know, you kind of have to just bite through the pain and let the blisters heal and then go back at it again. It hurts after a while, but then eventually the pain will go away.
I don't know if you could,
it depends really on how the action is on your guitar as well. I would actually go and
this is intermediate action. It's not high, it's not low. It's probably perfect because too low action I tend to get fret buzz, and too high action I don't have the finger strength.
Oh sure, yeah, I have mine fairly low.
Stick with the Jew's harp.
Can you guys even hear that? I'm just curious. Like, give me a chord.
G.
Do a man.
No.
C sharp minor.
Oh, jeez. You're going to give me one of the weirder ones. Come on.
Do A flat E.
A flat.
Sorry.
An A
flat. Wait. Oh,
your hands will go like this.
That's an A minor.
It's actually.
Oh, cool. We can play Name That Jew. Go ahead.
Name That Jew.
Yeah. Play a song. We have to guess.
Well, I play most Metallica. That's the problem. You can't hear it without an amp. You know, like I don't think you can hear that with an amp.
So it's all in E.
Well, most of it actually is a key. A lot of Metallica songs I think of a key of what is it?
F sharp.
Good God, I have to remember my circle of fifths. I know like C is an A minor. Oh my God, it's been so long since I looked at the circle of fifths. That damn thing. So let's see here. 1 sharp is G, 2 sharps is D, 3 sharps is A. And then you can look at each chord thing. But I can do my chord and I just have to remember my scales. Okay, we'll play a chord and we'll see if Scott can name it. These are guitars. Scott, you there? Anybody? Are we jamming out now?
Yeah. Actually, no, it's funny. I literally dusted off my piano today for the first time in 2 years.
Somebody wants to do a pentonic scale.
You got a hangnail on your third finger.
Is a hammer on? I don't know. When I play lead, I only play like I said, Metallica. You know, like. It's kind of hard to hear without amplification. But. All right, I'll try to play a song. I'll try to play a song and you guys name it. Okay, Scott, see if you can name this. Ready?
Okay, go ahead.
Onward, Christian Soldiers March.
No, nobody. I think it's easy.
I think you got to plug it in a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard to hear. I got to my E string, but maybe I'll do that real quick. I can't plug it in because my roomies would be very, very mad right now. When they're not here, that's when we're gonna jam out.
You got a pair of spoons?
Well, yeah, but I got a pair. Oh my God! I saw this video with this lady that plays spoons. Holy shit, is she good? You guys ever see that? Go look at someone on YouTube. Oh God, got a cramp. Hang on. Everybody break out their instrument of choice real quick.
Mine's sleeping.
Oh, I get that joke.
He is sleeping.
Okay. Oops, shit. There goes my tuna. I'll try to set the mic closer. So, all right, let's try that again. Ready? Okay. Now if you guys can name this tune.
It's Metallica.
Oh.
Billy, Don't Be a Hero.
Metallica.
It's cutting in and out, but is it?
Yeah,
was it Billy, Don't Be a Hero?
I'm sorry, what?
What was it? Or what? I'm sorry, was it Sanitarium?
Yeah. There he goes. It does sound better plugged in, huh? So somebody wants Seek and Destroy. Seek and Destroy goes like... Actually, I can't do it that way. Okay, that's how it goes. So... That's my favorite word. Something like that. I don't think you can hear it.
I think so. It's cutting in and out, so it's hard to.
Yeah, it's not loud enough to pick up. Well, when I get my amp playing when there's nobody home, then we'll jam, because we were doing RC and I were doing Welcome Home Sanitarium, and it sounded badass, man.
Oh, cool.
And we're doing For Whom the Bell Tolls. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
It's just like a da na 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 da da. Right?
Yes.
Anyways, I will have a jam session with you. Trust me.
Yeah.
Or you can just tell me chord progressions. I know. I mean, I can finger. I want to say I can finger most chords, but that sounds dirty. But
there's always the 4 chords of doom, is what I call them. That's G, C, A, D.
G, D, C. Can you do the intro to Call of Cthulhu?
What? I'm sorry, what?
Do the intro to Call of Cthulhu by Metallica.
Oh my God, I used to have that one down too. I actually have the music here for that.
I love that song. That's a really good one. I like the intro.
I was trying to learn that one and the intro to Fight Fire with Fire and oh God, a couple of different other ones. But I don't remember the Cthulhu. I barely remember Stairway. God, that's like the first song you learn on guitar. Like, it's like the very first song you learn on guitar. I haven't played in like 4 or 5 years. So I've only been playing for 2 days now. So this is a Lynx Pro.
Now you sound like Hovind. Is it 2 days or 4 years?
It's been it's been 4 years at least, probably.
Stick to the 2 days. You were doing much better.
No, I've only been playing for 2 days since I've had it. I played before, obviously, but I haven't played for years. But I used to play this rhythm guitar. That's why Metallica is pretty easy, which is,
What about you two? Just keep on striking the same thing over and over and over again.
I don't know if you guys even hear that. Can you name that? Can you name that song? Does it even sound like something you can even hear? Can't even hear that, probably.
I can hear it, just don't know what it is.
It's Fade to Black.
Yep. How's it go? How's the part go? Anyways, we'll get practice in, man.
I don't know a lot of Metallica though.
Well, I tell you what, if you could play one lick on the For Whom the Bell Tolls, I know the whole rhythm part for that song. I mean, seriously,
oh sure.
I could do the whole part, but the lead part is just the bass is going something like but the lead is this like a very simple progression on like two strings, but I haven't learned it. I don't know. If I have the tablet, I play just about most stuff, but the Metallica. But I tell you what, we can jam some Prince.
All right, give me a B flat add. I was gonna say, give me a B flat add 9 chord.
I know. I was just guessing. That's really what you said. B flat add 9.
That's a bitch to play.
Oh, give me to the fingering for this fucking thing is. What is the fingering for B flat add 9? Third.
I'll be right back.
Oh my god, what the hell is this? This is so. How often do you play this one?
There's a B flat.
Okay, this is a B flat add 9. That's a weird chord to play.
What about Motorhead?
Oh, I don't know any sound from Motorhead. I used to only play Metallica because I just liked the way the Metallica sounded.
Mm-hmm. What other ones did you always like?
What's that?
What other ones did you like to play?
I was almost pretty much exclusively Metallica. It takes several weeks to get back into playing mode, though. Right now, my fingers are really red again. I showed Ruth the other day. I wasn't lying. I did a picture of my hands. Oh my god, my fingers beat freaking red from just pressing down the strings after so many years.
I can confirm.
Yeah. So I have it. It's going to get used. I'm going to get back in the swing. I'm taking it really slow as far as like the learning curve, because I want to learn the scales all over from scratch again. Pentatonic, minors, harmonic minors, blues scales. I could do just about any chord. So that's not really, chords are not that hard. You just tell me what the chord is. I can look it up. I can see that, but scales are different. But I think Metallica sounds good to jam out to. Music theory is interesting. I did take music theory in college. So at one time I did have to memorize the circle of fifths, and I did have to know how to convert a harmonic minor to a melodic minor, or a natural minor, or drop the third here, drop the fifth there. All right, Ruh's got a bell. Thank you, Ruhif.
No problem.
We're going to have our rant session, a guitar rant, I promise.
All right. I'll be around through this week as well, so give us a yell.
So I showed you that I am practicing.
You are impressed. All right, wifey would like some special cuddles, so I'll go and
give her special cuddles. This thing adult here, I think, but whatever. Okay. Oh, Scott's breaking out his fiddle. Look at this.
I just wanted a noodle. I was looking around for a pick. I should just ask Ronnie for a quarter.
No, you get too much buzz when you use a quarter.
I never use a quarter.
Yeah, I don't. People have tried. Yeah. I like the picks they sent me. They're like thin, not stiff.
Yeah, I use 60 millimeter.
Why does that not sound right?
You're out of tune.
I think I'm out of tune. Yeah, it's when one thing when you do play, you go, oh shit, that doesn't sound right, because it does. You know what the sound's supposed to be like, right?
Yeah.
Let me just... Welcome to the part of the show where we do absolutely nothing but why you can watch. Go ahead, continue on without me. I'll be back in a second.
No, this is your show. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I gotta tune this.
It felt like noodling.
It's noodling.
I gotta be quiet so you can tune.
No, you don't. Just do your thing. Just give me 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Well, I mean, maybe I want to go pee or
something. Laugh. Come on, the guy's just getting back into it. Give him a chance, man. Come on.
I'm sorry.
Come on, be nice. He's playing the most popular band song of all time. Tune up. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Great Debate Community Jam session.
Wow. The cartoon is working for some reason. I'm gonna figure out what's going on here. We were fine earlier.
All right, folks. I got to go to. I got to call it quits. I got to be up in 4 hours.
Can you hear me? Anybody? Hello?
I can hear you talking. Hold on. Are you playing?
No, but why is nobody else talking?
Good night, Steve. Good night, Steve. I got to go.
See, just like all my shows I play, everyone leaves when I start playing.
Yeah. I don't know why this thing's stuck on G. It's not working. Let me continue on while I go do this and go pee. Anybody?
Oh, okay.
Talk about your experience with Prince.
Which one?
The big one.
Oh gosh. There's too many. So who else is in here?
Me.
Oh, hi. Sorry, my wife is watching ER. Hopefully that's not too loud for background noise. But I'll mute.
I'm not going to be able to be in focus until about after 9, so I'm just kind of listening in at the moment.
Steve, if you're hearing this, I bid you good night. I'm headed out.
All right, good night.
All right, good night.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna call it a night. So next time, guys, we'll play.
All right, sounds good. I gotta go anyway. So
people like you met Prince.
All right, we'll talk soon.
People like you have a lot of stories with Prince, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I was there since '94. A lot of shows, a lot of cool shows, a lot of interactions.
You were his biggest fan.
It's up for debate. You should see some of the crazies I deal with on Facebook, or I see it. Yeah.
All right, guys. Good night. Thank you for watching. I know Emperor Atheist left a long time ago, but that was a good debate that they had. Yeah, I just wish it would have been a little bit more on a specific target rather than Kent kind of gish gallop all the place. But anyways, tomorrow 2:00 PST, Flat Earth Hangout. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Be there.